Hello! Happy last day of NaNoWriMo. Where did November go? So this is the frantic procrastination write-in for those of you who have not quite hit 50K yet. There's still a lot of time. There's 4 hours here on the East Coast. So hopefully we'll get some good nano wins tonight. Let us know in the discussion section how you are doing. If this is your first write-in, welcome. We are so happy you're here. The way this works is we start with a warm-up sprint, and then we'll do 2 sprints afterwards, a 10-minute sprint and a 20-minute sprint. At the end of each one, we share word counts and just generally cheer each other on. It's a lot of fun, very productive. And we provide prompts if you need something to help get your creative juices flowing. You don't have to use the prompts, but they are there if you want them. And you're welcome to ask any writing or bookish or nano-related questions in the discussion section, and we will try to answer them in between sprints. If you do ask something, please tag us in it, National Novel Writing Month. That'll highlight it so that I'm more likely to see it, because the discussion section gets a little intense with everything flying up. If you ask a question and we miss it, I'm not ignoring it, so feel free to re-ask it. I just did not see it. So how is everyone doing this nano?
How are the reactions to this question?
I have like 17,000 words, so.
That's not bad.
I logged in today for the first time like all week, and it was like words per day to finish on time, 32,000, and I was like, well, that's not happening.
Right then.
At a certain point, I don't look at that anymore.
I validated and won right before this chat, so that was kind of nice.
Hey, someone is on the ball.
This is a good writing month for me, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Now tonight is all just extra for you. That's awesome.
I still have For the Words quests to beat, so.
Ooh, yes. I just beat the final ooze one. I wanted to beat all the ooze quests, and so I did all of those.
Yeah, I think we still have like till December 5th or something to finish those, so it's not like an end of nano thing.
I'm nanoing rebelliously this year, and so I've been working on revisions, and I'm not going to finish tonight, but I am pretty far in now. I'm at the part where you are typing in the changes, which is my favorite part because it feels so much like just pulling it apart and making it pretty. I love it. I feel like I actually know what I'm doing when I'm at that point.
See, I hate edits usually, but I do love that part, because that part feels like everything's been planning up till now, and now I'm going in and like doing the actual surgery to repair it.
Look, I'm making it beautiful.
Yeah, that I like. And I'm also nanoing rebelliously this year, and I just finished the edits and handed them in, and now I'm kind of doing more fun stuff, which is plotting out my next project that I probably shouldn't work on. I'm supposed to be doing my next set of edits, but I'm weak.
I finished Nano yesterday, and I don't even know what I'm doing next. So tonight I will be doing some reading to try and figure out what projects need to be revised.
Yay.
Awesome. So we have 2 nano winners on our chat today.
Dang. Let's start our warm-up in 1 minute. So it'll be at the 6. It's kind of a weird number, but I don't want to make you guys wait 5 more minutes to start. So our prompts for tonight are themed around the feelings that you have when you have procrastinated a little and are trying to write all the way up to the end of NaNoWriMo. So the first one is frantic. Write your characters feeling frantic. I will put all this in the discussion section. This warm-up sprint will go from the 6 to the 11. And yeah, got like 30 seconds.
You do not have to use the prompt if you don't want
Right.
to. Yeah.
It's just there if you need it. There we go. It's time. Let's do this warm-up sprint and check back in at the 11. time.
I was just coming in here to say
Yeah. I went so fast. So how did it go for everyone?
85 words.
Dang.
170.
I edited like 2 paragraphs.
I'm just reading, so
I
I did that.
I was gonna say I was on Twitter. That counts as reading, right?
Well,
Definitely. We had a question about the For the Words chat that we did a while back at the beginning of the month, asking how long the coupon code lasts. Do you know offhand, Kelly, how long that's going to last?
I do not offhand.
It's a good question. We'll find out and tweet it from our account, WordNerds blog. Let's see. Again, feel free to ask us any bookish or writing related questions, and we will try to answer them. For now, do you guys want to move right on into the next sprint?
Let's keep going.
We all seemed pretty good to keep going right past that 11 marker. So let's do the next sprint at the 15. It's going to go for 10 minutes. And if you want a prompt, it's still following the trajectory of feels that you have when you are still writing on the last day of Nano. So the next step is feeling like things are snowballing, have things kind of spinning out of control and mounting up, conflict and all that for your characters. Once again, I will put this in the discussion section. Also, thank you so much for sharing your word counts with us. You guys are doing so great. We've got someone who's only got like 74 words left until they've won Nano. This is my favorite day to write in.
Yes.
Because so many people are winning.
It's always exciting when it's just like a few words left.
So we've only got 1 minute. So I do see a couple questions. We will answer them after this sprint. But I'm marking them down now, so I won't miss them. And it's time. So again, check-in is at the 25, and the prompt is snowballing. Good luck. How'd it go for everyone?
I have to do some word count math.
I watched the Thank You Next music video, which is pure art. It's inspiration, really.
So basically, you were still writing.
I was.
385.
Nice. I revised another like 4 paragraphs.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I wrote words, so yay.
Were they on Twitter?
No, not this time. Don't call me out like that.
Savage. We had a question. Where did it go? From Catherine. How do I double my word count quickly? Any tips?
Clone yourself. So helpful. Writing sprints are always good.
If you can, just like sit down in a room alone and just go. Like, don't even look at what you're writing because you don't need to see those typos. They don't matter right now. I like to turn my screen down so it's really dark when I'm trying to write particularly fast, because sometimes if I look at what I'm writing, then I have a tendency to want to like slow down and think about what comes next. And when I'm trying to get a lot down really quickly, the key is to not think about what's happening next and just let it happen.
Mm-hmm. I also feel like if you don't win Nano, you still have way more words than you would have. So don't put an immense amount of pressure on yourself if you don't think you're going to make it. That's my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. We had a comment that I loved from Tassified Vlogs. I'm so confused. I've already hit 50K with 5 hours to spare. What is this madness? What do I do with myself now?
Candy. Some kind of reward.
That was me a little bit like, oh, I'm done a day early. What other writing projects even exist? It's all been Nano for the last work.
Mm-hmm.
That's like me when I finish a particularly good book and you're like, what other books exist? What am I supposed to read now?
Series.
Exactly, yeah. That's all I know.
We had a question from Donnie St. Pierre. Does anyone have any good recommendations for books written in first person? I need to know if I'm doing this correctly because I never do.
First person present or first person past?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because they're different.
Very different.
We'll say both for now.
Yeah.
If you got them.
The Hunger Games, I feel like, is a really good example of first person present utilized really well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it really popularized that in YA.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think of.
I'm trying to remember. I know The Hate You Give is first person. Is it present or past?
My God, says present.
I feel like I always notice now when it's first person past.
Yeah.
I think.
Whereas I can't remember any examples of any books I've ever read ever. So I couldn't tell you what any
Like,
given
do I
book-
read?
Even the books I've written, I don't think I could tell you with like absolute certainty.
It's making me realize how much I read in third person. I'm like looking at my bookshelf right now.
I'm reading Sadie by Courtney Summers right now, which is amazing in general, but it's like kind of 2 points of view, and one of them is in first person present, and it's really well done. So
I think American Panda is the most recent book I've read that was first past. I think it's first past. I don't know.
possible.
We give great advice.
Oh, I think
that up.
hang on, which one is this one? First person past. Yeah, Frostblood was a really good one by Ellie Blake.
Yeah, that was
person, yeah, first person pass. Like just looking at my bookshelf right now. Everything I've read has been in third.
While you guys are thinking, we had a quick question from Emma. What is a good name for an antagonist?
My brain just went, Emma.
Please name your antagonist after
Poor
me.
Emma.
Randall.
Randall.
I'm sorry if there's anyone named Randall watching.
I'm not sorry to them. Let's embrace it.
Yeah.
I'm not offended.
Do
I know
it.
villains named after me.
I feel like Susan is a good name for one of those like sweetly evil people, right? Like an Umbridge type.
Yeah. Lester. Classic.
I did have a villain named Lester once.
Lester.
But he was kind of a bad villain, like he was a joke villain. So, well,
Or you could go, if he's like a Voldemort type hero, you could go with something classic like Balthazar or something. Like, I feel like that was a Kyra thing too, wasn't it?
yep, that was also.
I'm like, where am I getting this from? Yep, that's Kyra.
Yep, they were in the same book.
Yes, that's maybe what triggered that off. It is a classic
That was a weird
Voldemort style.
Maybe that's what I need to work on next, is go back to that book. Maybe this is a sign. That's my next thing I need to work on. Lester and Balthazar.
It should just be the story of Balthazar, though.
The Ballad of Balthazar.
The main character. Yeah.
There was one more question. I want to say we weren't tagged in it, so I lost it.
American Panda is past tense. I checked. And it's good.
I liked that one.
I lost it. If you asked a question and I missed it, please re-ask it. We also had a question for some YA sci-fi recs with not a lot of sex and swearing.
I was going to say like anything by Amy Kaufman, but I feel like there tends to be swearing in those.
There's a lot of swearing.
In Illuminate, they just block out all the bad words. So
Yeah, Illuminate is a great one.
you're free to just assume whatever you want about the words.
Literally censored. So
I think maybe Heart of Iron by Ash Poston.
Dangerous by Shannon Hill. That's a good one.
The These Broken Stars trilogy, Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, is probably a good fit as well.
This Mortal Coil, that was a good one.
I liked Contagion by Aaron Bowman.
Oh, I'm partway through that one.
Yeah, that's cool.
Marie Lu, Warcross.
I think we had people talking about Warcross in the discussion section before we went live.
Oh, Want, that's another good one.
Yes, I love Want.
I don't read as much science fiction as other things, but
I feel like I don't
it's more than I thought I did.
the science I read, I really like, so I can recommend it. Like I don't have to think hard to think of ones I really liked.
Well, let's move into our last sprint is going to be a bigger one. So let's start it in 1 minute. This final sprint of the evening is going to be 20 minutes. And since we're going along the theme of your feels when you're writing on the last day of Nano for prompts, the last prompt is triumphant. Have your character feel triumphant, whether it's legitimate triumph or misguided triumph is up to you. Again, I will put that in the discussion section, and if I missed your question, we will get to it after this sprint. Good luck. Again, this one ends at the 55. I don't think I said that. That's what it is. time. These 1 hour write-ins go so fast.
I think I wrote like 300 and also watched the Thank You Next music video, which was amazing.
I told you it's amazing. It's
Why
like a
is it
tribute
so-
to like all these like early 2000s like chick flicks and stuff. It's amazing.
Oh, I keep hearing about it. I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out what's so amazing about it.
It's like a tribute to like Mean Girls, Legally Blonde, Bring It On,
What?
and I think like 13 Going on 30.
I
Like it has
couldn't
all
figure
this
out that
stuff.
one. I think that was my guess too.
Yeah, it's amazing. Anyway, I wrote 115 words and dealt with some group project stuff for one of my classes.
I got my chapter edited except for the part that I have to add in because it's a very short book, so I'm adding a lot of words to it. I edited everything else, and now I just have to stick an extra half a scene in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So many people are hitting 50,000 in the comments. It's so exciting. Everybody congratulating each other.
Yes.
I'm gonna miss the Nano community so much for the next 11 months.
I know. After
Until-
December, though, I need a break.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I'm glad they did Camp Nano too, because like we need another one in there.
Yeah. I guess that's a good question. What are y'all's plans for post-November? Like, what are you gonna do now?
Write
Ugh.
more books.
I'm still
Yeah.
writing the same book.
I'm just gonna have so much editing. I've been enjoying this kind of like planning other projects while fangirling with the Nano community over other people's words counts, and then I think reality is going to come and kick me in the butt soon. I have editing to do with deadlines, with real deadlines, so less fun.
I have a whole bunch of like really bad first drafts, so I need to like pick one to revise.
Yes, join me in editing hell. Join me.
Or I could write a shiny new idea, but actually I need to revise something.
We had a few questions that we can do to wrap up. We had a question from Rebecca. I feel like my villain is very cliche. She wants to kill all the humans and feels that the monsters are all superior. Any tips on how to make her a bit less cliche?
Reasonings behind her feelings. Like,
Yeah.
what happened to her to build to this?
Yeah. What are her motivations behind everything she does? And like, I know we repeat this on the channel because we talk about villains a lot, but like, if I'm a villain, I'm always going to think that I am the hero. Nobody thinks that they're the villain. She's like, how would you write her book if she was the hero in your book?
Oh my God,
What would she be doing and thinking? Yes.
Except for Lester. Lester knows he's the villain.
Yeah. With a name like Lester, you just know he knows.
Pretty sure that's like an actual line in the book. Thanks, Megan. I'm starting to feel like this is the one that needs to be revised.
We had a question from Mia. I find myself starting my paragraphs the same way every time. I walked, I went, we went, I saw, I couldn't help but, etc. Any tips to improve?
This is a really hard one, and I know I struggled with it a lot when I first started writing in first person. And it's kind of something you almost have to develop, like a certain flow. And what I did to really help me was reading a bunch of really well done first person books and seeing like how they were writing and how they were starting their sentences. And I know that a lot of time it is filter words. It's I watched, I saw, I felt. You can cut off that. Don't filter it through the character. Just put it on the page. Because that way when you're filtering it through the character, I want to feel like I'm your character. I don't want to feel it through me reading and then through her as a character. I want to feel like I'm seeing it for myself as I'm reading, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely, like, because a lot of those phrase examples that you used are like actions. So make sure that like you're not just describing what your character's doing, but like their surroundings and the things they're feeling and stuff like that. And that will give things to write about that don't necessarily start with I verb.
This is definitely a revisions fix for me. I don't think, or I try not to think about it at all when I'm in the first drafting stage, because it'll just stop me real fast. I'll be like, I'm the worst writer ever. Look at this. I can only start a sentence with these 3 words. But going through in revisions makes the biggest difference for me. And I really like the program Pro Writing Aid. When I'm in the line editing stage of revisions, I put all of my books through Pro Writing Aid. They have a thing that will tell you if you've started a sentence with the same word 3 times in a row, they flag it so you can go in. And so it catches even the things that you don't necessarily notice, where you like start a sentence with she or something too many times. And I love that feature.
Something else you can do is going through and actually flipping this around. Like I'm looking at Frostblood here, and like find the lines that don't start with I and be like, how would I have written this, you know, if I had started it with I? Like I look at light poured in through the infirmary window. Okay, if I had said, I looked up and saw light pouring in from the infirmary window, I would want to flip that around and just cut off the I, right? Like, or I would have said, I woke up in the morning and light is pouring in from the infirmary window. Well, I can cut all that down and just describe the light, right? Reading is always going to be the first thing I turn to if I'm like, how the heck do I do this? See how other authors do it.
For sure. To kind of wrap things up, we had some questions about doing more write-ins, and we do write-ins once a month, every month over on our channel, which is the WordNerds. There might be a link in there already.
There's a link there now, yeah.
There is a link in the description to that channel. One Sunday per month at 7:30 Eastern time, we do. It's probably like an hour and a half long write-in. So hopefully we'll keep seeing you guys there. If you know of any channels that are continuing writing in tonight, definitely let us know in the discussion section. Nano Word Sprints is always sprinting over on Twitter. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh, we have lots of virtual write-ins. So if you just love that squeaky sound of our voices, you can watch past write-ins. So if you go to WordNerds vlog, VLOG.com, we have a backlog of all of those where you can just watch them in a playlist and just go for it. Congratulations to all the people who won Nano, but really, if you're here, you're a winner too, because we all wrote words, probably.
Anyone who stuck it out till day 30, like we had hundreds more people on our first day write-in, and then these are the people who stuck with it and kept going. So
you guys are the best of the best, and it's been so fun writing with you. Hopefully we'll keep seeing you over on our channel where we have lots and lots of videos every day. Live chats once a week on Sundays. And is there anything I'm missing?
Yay,
no,
Hey, NaNoWriMo! Another year gone. Best of luck if you're going to keep writing tonight, and we will see you later.
Bye.